CenturyLink Arena here in Omaha, Nebraska, and we're ready for Big East basketball this afternoon. The Xavier Musketeers coming to town to take on the 22nd ranked Creighton Blue Jays. And a look at the standings in the Big East Conference. Villanova top of the table with an 8-2 record, followed by the teams we're getting ready to see right now, Creighton and the X-Men. Hi everybody, I'm Gus Johnson along with former Ohio State All-American Jimmy Jackson, and welcome to Omaha, folks. And in this game, we have two teams, Big Jim, that lost their point guards, two dynamic players. Edmund Sumner for Xavier, Mo Watson for Creighton. They've got to figure out how to make adjustments as their season goes on.
Well, that's what these coaches get paid the big bucks for, but Creighton on their end still wants to get out in transition, but they're doing it a little bit differently, advancing the ball up the court quickly, Kyrie Thomas and Marcus Foster, so they can attack. But for Xavier, it's about controlling tempo, getting the ball inside, driving to the basket, of course, making sure Trayvon Blewett touches the basketball.
And that man has to touch the basketball as well. As we take a look at the Jeep Grand Cherokee starting lineup, Quentin Gooden is a true freshman. He's the point guard now for the X-Men. Did a nice job in their win against Seton Hall. Makura Bernard Blewett playing with a tender ankle, and Jones, the freshman. Marcus Foster, the Kansas State transfer. Davion Mintz replaces Mo Watson at the point guard position. Thomas Huff, and this kid, Justin Patton, folks, he's a 7-footer. He's dynamic. Chris Mack, really happy with their win over Seton Hall, 72-70 in Cincinnati on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Coach McBuckets, Greg McDermott, 52 years old. His team coming off a terrific road victory at Hinkle against Butler on Tuesday. Your officials, great trio: Michael Stevens, Lamar Simpson, Evan Burrows. Creighton handed Xavier its only home loss this season, 72-67 on January 16th. The Blue Jays led nearly wire to wire behind 15 points from Marcus Foster. So here we go. Creighton, Xavier, tossing the tap, and it's controlled by the Musketeers. And
it's important, Gus, for Xavier early to establish his physical presence, offensive rebound, get the ball inside the paint.
Blewett playing with that tender ankle. His first shot short. Loose ball, tries to get the rebound, gets the rebound, off the glass, no. Nice rebound inside by Jones, and it goes down.
And that's a big concern, talking to Coach McDermott, was how aggressive and physical Xavier was inside, in particular, and an offensive rebound again to the court.
So here come the Jays now. Thomas. They need Cole Huff to hit jump shots today. That's what the coaches told us. He misses his first. Inside Jones from Connecticut. Spinning, pumping, dipping, off the glass and hit. Beautifully done by the freshman.
And you see why he's in the starting lineup. One, he has a big body. He has a good understanding. The footwork was impeccable that time. Created enough space to be able to use the glass and get it over Patton.
Tyreek Jones scoreless on Wednesday against Seton Hall. Inside, here's Patton. And out of bounds, will stay right here.
No, Tyreek Jones starting, but the little jab step, up and under, created a little bit of space, but what it does, Gus, it keeps Patton off balance, so now he can't use that height advantage to block shots.
Tyreek Jones was a 4-star prospect, rated number 94 nationally by one organization. From Bloomfield, Connecticut. Now Foster drives hard to the basket, kicks it out, Mintz. Looking to turn the corner, cut off by Bernard. Patton on the baseline, extra pass, Kyrie Thomas. Pure.
The playmaking ability, the trust of getting Patton the basketball on the block. And then from there, Gus, smart play, finding Thomas in the corner.
Jones again now on the opposite box. Really going at Patton. Dips inside and just muscles his way to the basket.
That was a grown man move. I mean, he's giving up the height, but he has the bulk and size inside.
Foster step back jump shot, and he rips it. So Creighton comes out, knocking down threes to start this game. They said they wanted at least 7 made threes. They feel that that's what they need to win. Here's Bernard, the Florida A&M transfer. Gooden, a three. And he answers.
And that's the spot early before the game that he was concentrating shooting from.
Here's the extra pass, Thomas. Lillard gets back on defense. Cole Huff driving, stripped by Gooden. Here's the freshman coming up the floor. A lot of weight on his shoulders now. Bernard straight away. Patton going up high, batted around, picked up. Kyrie Thomas, he'll push it. He's got Mintz on the wing, finds him deep in the corner. Inside, Patton slipping to the basket, and he draws the foul. Love this arena, Jimmy. Over 18,000, always a sellout.
You can feel the energy. They understand how big of a game this is, being that you talked about it earlier. This team is in transition. You lose Mo Watson, what's going to happen? You're in second place right now in the Big East.
And they were really hit hard by the injury to Mo Watson. What a terrific player from Philadelphia. Point guard. He's like my height, Jimmy. I can look him right in the eye.
I don't know. I think you might got him a little bit.
Maybe I think I may have him by a half inch.
Now, his explosiveness is a little bit better than yours.
A lot better.
Especially off the bounce. But you know what they missed, though? Their assists are only down in the last 4 games, 1. But they miss his voice, his leadership. And you can replace the body, but you can't replace the mind and spirit and the heart. And that's something that is evolving with the different voices of this Creighton team over the last 4 games.
Look at him up coaching already. Creighton was sailing along with only a loss to Villanova on its record when Watson was injured at Xavier on Martin Luther King Day. Good now. Baseline. Bernard cut off. Put it on the floor. Huff tried to dig it out. 12 to shoot. Good. And he traveled.
And that right there, that's where good. You just knock down the jump shot, catch and shoot. Take that jump shot, force Mintz to have to guard you and respect you. That's when that pump fake, and now you're able to get around him and get to the basket.
I'll tell you though, this kid Quentin Gooden is going to be a great player in the Big East Conference. He had 8 points and 7 assists, 2 blocked shots in his last game against Seton Hall in 35 minutes. Inside, and a foul. Zach Hansen in the game now, the senior from Pierre, South Dakota. And Hansen will go to the free throw line. He's played 3 games since recovering from ligament damage in his ankle, a fluke injury before Thanksgiving, which came on the heels of off-season knee surgery.
It's big to get him back, 1, because he's experienced. 2, it helps with your rotation if you're Coach McDermott. 3, he can give you a low post presence once he gets deep post position.
9-8, X-Men with the lead. Now Blewett, how is that ankle is the big question. Stop and start of the baseline, reverse layup, pure. Nicely done by Trayvon Blewett.
That ankle looked pretty good. He was more worried about his lateral movement, but that time able to explode.
Hansen inside again with great position.
And that's what you get from Hansen, because he has such a big body, but more importantly, Gus, he understands positioning inside.
J.P. McCura rings the bell on the baseline. They need a 25-point game from him today. That's what the coaches told us. Now Foster, mid-range jump shot. Everything is Doug McDermott in the building. There's been buckets here because these kids are getting buckets to start this game.
But you see the advance pass up quickly to Foster. Now he can go one-on-one before Xavier's defense gets set.
Bernard down the lane, the kick, Gooden, rising fire. Aimed it. Gaston with the rebound, back to Gooden, gets to the basket, off the glass, count it, and the foul. I'll tell you what, Jimmy, watch this kid, Quentin Gooden. Campbellsville, Kentucky, Taylor High School. He can bench 185 pounds 20 times. He's strong, like bull. Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 40 straight years. CenturyLink Center here in Omaha, Nebraska. Our score, Xavier with the lead on the road 15-12, and the Blue Jays, they're missing Big Mo.
2-2 without him, but this team is trying to figure out how they're going to play now. Now it's more ball movement to get it up the court to still be able to be effective, guys.
Let's go to Shannon Spake, who's sitting with the little big man.
That's right, Gus. You guys already saw him on camera coaching from the bench over here, and he has been an absolute staple on this bench since he had that ACL injury about 3 weeks ago. But you're going to have to give up your seat for a little bit at least, right? Because you finally scheduled that surgery. Tell me when and where it's going to be, Maurice.
I'm actually flying back to Philly tonight. I'm having done at the Rothman Institute by a guy who does a lot of like the Sixers stuff. He's really good with ACLs, and just he focuses mainly on knees. I only have one chance and one shot at fixing my knee, so I want to go to the best.
And I know you told me you hope to be back on the bench with your guys, at least with the Big East tournament. You know, we talked yesterday, and you told me one of the things, obviously, being out there on the court is the most disappointing. But hearing all the talk about how this team isn't good without you, what do you want people to know about this group?
I mean, that these guys are so talented, and they work so hard, and that they're smart, and that they want to win. So, I mean, eventually we're going to figure it out. Everything like these last 2 games. And then these guys have me, and, you know, I've always preached, you know, playing for each other. So, I mean, now that I'm out, we got to use that as motivation instead of letting it be a negative.
You know, Edmund Summer for Xavier, he's dealing with his own ACL injury. You guys have played against each other many times. Have you guys been in contact at all?
I just DM'd him just to stay strong. Same thing he did for me. I was hoping to see him here, but he's probably not traveling and everything. But I didn't want to overwhelm him. I know a lot of people probably was hitting him up too. It's a sad time, so I kind of want him to just fight through it and find a way to deal with it. But let him know that I'd be feeling his pain.
All right, we wish you all the best with that surgery. We'll let you get back to the bench. And Gus, I did talk to Sumner on the phone last night, and he was not able to travel with the team because his injury, his pain level. But he's watching from his apartment, watching these guys, and you know he's here with him in heart.
All right, thank you very much, Shannon. 15 minutes to play here in the first half, 15-12. Gooden, who replaced Sumner as a starting point guard. Blewett step back, 16-foot jump shot goes down.
And that's what he's really good. Blewett can get to a spot, and he's excellent at using that step back, squaring his shoulders up, finishing with a nice follow through.
Blewett coming off a 24-point game against Seton Hall with 7 rebounds. Meanwhile, Xavier allowing Creighton to attack. Hansen again.
Excellent pass and patience that time by Tyler Clement.
Inside, Gaston, the Norfolk State transfer. And he's got a big body down there on the box for Coach Mack. 19-14. Here's Clement. Getting big minutes now with the Watson injury. He'll take a lefty jumper and hit it.
But we shouldn't be surprised. A 4-year player, the coaches say he knows the scouting report better than anybody else. So you trust that he's going to come in and do his job.
19-17. Xavier, McCurry. And the rebound goes to Huff. He'll bring it up the floor. Huff had that big East tournament game, 35 points. Marcus Foster against Seton Hall in a loss. Blewett. Good, wide open again. Can he hit one? Yes. He's been working on that jump shot. It's a little flat, but it's getting better as the season progresses. Foster, meanwhile, spins, lost it, and will stay right here.
Well, it's all about confidence with Gooden, and that time, Clement kind of committed to double teaming Trayvon Blewett in a tough spot right there at the elbow. That just left Goodwin open. He just square up and let it go.
Gooden already with 8 points. At his career high of 16 points on Sunday against St. John's. Zierden. Meanwhile, Clement. Loose ball, tracked down. Thomas. They swing it. No, Zierden keeps it.
Yeah, now I just see him try to get Patton involved as Kaiser's guarding him inside. That mismatch.
Egner's come in for Creighton. Big fella. Number 32. Thomas on the baseline, and he's bumped and fouled. Kyrie Thomas from Omaha, Fort Union High School. He's a sophomore. Foul called on Gates. That's his first. Xavier. Inside, Patton tried to wrap it around, and he's bumped and fouled as well.
Well, that time, Gus, excellent ball movement from left to right allowed Patton to get deep post position. A little late on the help by Kaiser. But that's the kind of ball movement you want, and then you can post Patton. The double team has to come later. Then he has the advantage inside, you know, of course, along with his height.
7-footer. Some compare him to Marcus Camby. All the scouts were here. About 5 scouts at practice yesterday to watch this kid. Number 23 in white with the ball right now.
I think that's where he's a little bit different than Marcus on his offensive ability.
Clement. How good. 8 points to start. He's got patience. Maturity about him to be a freshman. Drives. Good with the left hand as well. Forces his way inside. Rattled out. Jay's the other way. Thomas, shake and bake, kicks it, Hector, downtown, and hits. One thing about Creighton teams, they don't call him Coach McBuckets for no reason. His guys can really stroke the rock.
They can stroke the rock, but they're also excellent passers. They work on the dribble drive penetration. Once the defense collapses, kick it out to the open man and let him do his job.
22-20. Xavier doing a nice job on the road here in the first half, shooting 63%. Creighton at 50%. Blue, quick release. Rims off. And out of bounds. Will head the other way.
Early on, you see dribble penetration. How are we going to get points? Hegner answers the bell.
Big East College Hoops on Fox is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Good game going on right now here in Omaha, 22-20. Xavier on top of Creighton. In the Huddle is sponsored by SoFi, offering smart solutions to help you reach your financial goals. And let's go inside the Huddle with Greg McDermott.
Guys, offensively, we've been fine. We just got to dig in down here. And, like, it needs to be 5 guys going to find a body, and then you also have to go get the ball. Right? We're blocking out, and we're waiting for somebody else to go get it. You've got to go get it. Guards, you got to fly in there and clean some of that up.
Coach McDermott talked about this yesterday at practice was defensive rebound. We can't allow those big bodies to get entrenched because if they do, they're going to beat us on the boards. And right now, it's 12-4 in the paint as far as points in the paint, and 3 offensive rebounds. So not only do you block out, but when the ball caroms off the rim, go get it.
And he was talking about the guards. You were a great rebounding guard. I mean, you're a big guy at 6'6", but sometimes you need those guards to really crash down and help the bigs rebound the ball.
Well, you do, because the bigs are going to do their job. But now as a guard, you box out, but you release, and now you go assist your bigs in getting those 50-50 balls.
You got to have a lot of heart for a guard to go down there and try to rebound, don't you, Jim?
Well, you better. You better. If you want your big man to help you out on pick and rolls and blocking shots and doing anything, you better help him out as well by rebounding.
JT McCura is a very good rebounding guard for Xavier. And that ball knocked out of play. Creighton to hold on.
And I'm impressed early on with the activity of Xavier on the defensive end. A lot of deflections, getting out, contesting shots.
Energy.
Yeah, a lot of energy. And I think you need that for Xavier because you have to figure out a way to manufacture points without Edmonds' number in the lineup.
Foster, top of the key. Loose ball. Hector with the offensive board. Loose shot clock for the Blue Jays. Searden, Foster, Patton, Clement. Inside, Foster forced one up and got it to go.
Big body. Sometimes just get inside and put it up.
Marcus Foster averaging 18 points a game on the season. Everybody has to step up with the loss to Mo Watson. Inside, Sean O'Mara has been playing extremely well as of late. And a foul called, offensive foul on the big man.
You know, Marcus Foster's been struggling with his jump shot a little bit, but here able to attack inside, a little inside-out handle. Zach couldn't get there in time, and on the offensive end, a little bait and switch right there by Ebner by drawing the charge.
Coach Mack turned 47 on New Year's Eve in his 8th season at Xavier. One thing you know about his guys, they're always going to play hard. Here's Pat now into the basket and draws the foul as McCura hacked it.
I'll tell you what, if you're Coach Mack, you're pleasantly pleased with the start of Quentin Gooden. Not only that he's running the team, but he's knocking down jump shots. He's being aggressive on the offensive end, but more importantly, Gus, he's taking care of the basketball.
So Justin Patton goes to the line. And this kid has such an incredible story. He grew about 6 or 7 inches between his freshman and sophomore year. Used to be a guard. Was not highly recruited. As a matter of fact, the coaches at Creighton tell us that nobody was really paying a lot of attention to him. Redshirted his freshman year, so he's a redshirt freshman right now. And he has just come on. Some feel that he can be potentially a lottery pick this season, and he may have to go.
Totally agree.
7-0 run. First lead of the game for the Blue Jays. And a whistle and foul away from the ball. Looks like that's Foster guarding Blewett.
And what Patton brings to the table by playing guard, we see his passing ability, his awareness on the court. Those little intangibles are a little bit more challenging for a post player to acquire, but him having that background allows him to be a little bit more advanced at this stage of his career.
I tell you what, he also has great form on his jump shot.
Yeah,
he was hitting
stroke.
shots, shot after shot yesterday in practice from the top of the key, like a guard. Here's Bernard, lobs it on Merritt, draws a double team, tries to find Jones. They reverse the ball, Blewett a 3.
That was excellent rotation that time by Creighton on defense, scrambling around.
Xavier, catch and shoot. Xavier, 3.5 minutes. They have not scored a point. Now Gooden steps into a J. Cross-court pass, Foster, he'll drive, get to the hole, misses the layup. They're going up and down now here in Omaha. Blewett, they need his scoring. He had a 40-point game against Cincinnati this year. That one's sailing wide.
Back in transition. Good, not only doing it on the offensive end, but right here assisting the team and getting a nice little block shot, which seemed to be an easy two-pointer for Foster. Good and able to take it away.
Gooden doing it on both ends. Did a good job against Kadeem Carrington in Cincinnati earlier this week in the win over Seton Hall. Seton Hall getting a win today at Georgetown, their first conference win of the season. On the road, right. Excuse me.
And a much-needed win for that Seton Hall team, probably the most physical team, but sometimes can't complete and finish games.
Angel Delgado with a monster game. And Gooden with a steal. They'll bring it up the floor. Bernard backs up on Clement. Pulls up. Brick. Blewett, rebound, strip, and Xavier holds on. Tyreek Jones holding his knee on the Xavier bench.
Into the collision inside right here. When he went.
Bump knees with a fan. Come on, big fella, you gotta be tougher.
It may have come though when he came down. He may have jammed it up a little bit, it looks like, but hope he can just walk that off. Let me tell you what, Marcus Foster's doing an excellent job guarding Trayvon Blewett right now.
And a foul called on Foster.
I know it's a tough call. Foster's giving up height, but what he makes up for is his quickness and speed. That time he was trying to beat Trayvon Blewett to the spot, but couldn't quite get there. And that call could have went, honestly, either way, and that's the second foul on Foster.
But Blewett has been brilliant this season, averaging 19 points a game and 6 rebounds. Here's Gooden, the inbound. Blewett. Now backs his man down on Thomas. Tried to spin, cut off. Nice defense by Thomas.
Excellent defense. Stay patient.
Gates hit a couple of jump shots against Seton Hall in Cincinnati this week. Blewett remaining aggressive, and he's fouled again. 7:50 to play first half. These teams really battling hard. 24-22, great. Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Progressive, your first round pick for car insurance. And by Edward Jones, where attention and sound advice is a big deal. 24-22, Creighton, the 22nd ranked team in the nation. On top of Xavier. Now it's UFC Fight Night tonight on FS1. The Korean Zombie makes his long-awaited return to the octagon to take on Dennis Bermudez. Also, Felice Herrig battles it out with Alexa Grasso. Catch all the action on UFC Fight Night tonight at 6:30 Eastern on FS1 or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Let's go around the world in college basketball. How about Angel Delgado today? Huge game, 26 and 17. More importantly, Jimmy, he was 12 of 15 from the free throw line. How about Tara Vanderveer? 1,000th career win last night versus SC. And Coach K, he's back. And his back is better.
But you know what? He's coming back determined because that Duke team was in flux. Not playing a lot of defense, not coordinated on the same page. And how about Vanderveer? Doesn't get a lot of the credit nationally that Gino gets or Pat Summitt had gotten, but to win 1,000 games,
wow.
I mean, to win 1,000 games, that says a lot.
Inside, Kaiser Gates missed the layup. Snatched down by Hansen. And here come the Blue Jays. Clement, Huff, Zierden. Zierden pick and roll. Clement, he doesn't turn the ball over. That's what Coach Mack likes about him. Now Huff, quick fire.
Well, you think about it with Zierden and Clement in the backcourt, you lose the speed, but you gain maturity. So they're going to be solid offensively and defensively, and they're not going to hurt you.
10-0 run for Creighton. Now Gates driving to the hole, missed the layup, but draws the foul. And Kaiser Gates will go to the line.
And that's the next evolution of Kaiser Gates' game. And I know the coaches have implored him to be more physical. He didn't finish the last play inside that one. He attacked on the basket, to the basket. Physically stronger, he has to finish that play inside.
Well, Kaiser Gates had a 13-point game on Wednesday against Seton Hall. 11 in the second half. He was 3 of 4 from the three-point line. Also grabbed 8 rebounds in 31 minutes.
Well, a guy like that can stroke the basketball, his ability now to attack off the dribble will only open up his jump shot even more.
One of the best shooters on this team. I'd say the top 3 would be Hugh Pickett, McCura, and Blewett. And Gates follows.
Yeah. The zone defense 2-3 right here by Xavier.
Huff, 16, rims off, and out of bounds. Last touch by the Musketeers.
And always a challenge is rebounding out of the zone, in particular when you get an isolation at the free throw line. Now it's almost more like you're one-on-one. That time Xavier able to not keep Creighton from keeping the possession alive.
Hansen baseline, draws a double team. And he's fouled.
Chris Mack right there. Excellent double team that time. Seems like Trayvon Blewett got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Blewett picks up his first. Zach Hansen at the line. In his last 2 games, he's played 10 minutes at each and hit 7 of 8 shots. Unsuccessful at the line right here. So Quentin Gooden takes his time. Brings it up the floor. Blewett pick and roll with O'Mara. Gates. Backdoor, Gates hangs in the air, flips it up, no. Creighton wants to run here. Xavier getting back. Thomas, DJ, off grip.
Notice the pace has slowed down a little bit. Both teams early on shooting over 50%. They kind of settled in a little bit more, making it a little bit tougher to get some of the easy baskets that we saw early in this game.
Xavier, no field goals in the last 7 minutes. Good, tough shot. Now Kyrie Thomas. Hard drive with the basket. Baseline, Zier can catch and shoot. Isaiah. 30-24. Blue Jays looking impressive here in the first half, now with their largest lead of the game. And it's their defense that's making the big statement right now. Bernard. And a foul on the floor.
Well, how about this? Kyrie Thomas, second on the team in rebound, but this time able to get inside, suck into defense, but then make the pass right down the line. The great relocation, that time by Zier to catch, shoot, score.
And now wholesale substitutions coming in. Tyreek Jones back. J.P. Macura back. They need Macura to be aggressive offensively. They need some Bobby Sura out of him.
Well, they do. He's averaging about 14 over the last 4, but he's shooting about 50%. But it's his three-point ball, Gus, where he struggled, you know, really knocking those shots in, which he's known for.
Jones muscles his way on the baseline, creates space, reverse layup. The big man having a terrific first half with 8 points. And Huff knocked out of his hands and out of bounds.
Gus, the disadvantage for Patton is because he's tall, he's used to blocking shots, so he doesn't concentrate on taking away deep post position. Tyreek is able to get deep post position, use that body, create space, and score. Patton has to do a better job.
Mintz back in the game, a teardrop, in and out, rebounded by Jones. Quentin Gooden, Tyreek Jones for Xavier, both freshmen. The future is in good hands.
Indeed it is.
Blewett, step back, count it. Big time ball player right here. Trayvon Blewett in the foul as Mintz gets rubbed down by Macura.
And this is what I'm talking about here. Let's go back a play. And Patton, the progression of a big man right inside. He's going to allow Tyreek Jones to get a little deep. See how deep he is inside? Now, as Patton, the big body, able to shuffle, maneuver on the baseline, and finish inside. So, as good as Patton is playing, he still has to learn the little intricacies about this college game defensively overall, not allowing your guy to get deep inside.
Look at the two guys shaking hands, battling each other. Great sportsmanship. Mintz, first free throw good. Davion Mintz from Charlotte, North Carolina. The game after Maurice Watson's injury, he proceeded to have career highs across the board against Marquette. 17 points in 26 minutes with 8 assists and 4 rebounds. He's got speed. (32-28). Blue Jays. 4:05 to play. J.P. Macura with 3 fouls. Blewett turns the corner. Fires a shot and hits it again, back to back. And he had some words for Kyrie Thomas. Check up.
Good D, better O, baby. That's what he told him. I like the changing defense right here by Xavier, kind of keeping Creighton off balance, uncomfortable. Let's see if they can get inside the gap to the zone.
Cole Huff, and he answers. They need Cole Huff to hit some threes in this game. He's hit 2. 3:19 to play first half, 35-30. Gooden guarded by Mintz, takes him up the dribble with the left hand, right hand blocked by Patton out of foul. And a timeout on the floor with 3:09 to play. Trayvon Blewett. He's slick, prolific scorer. He's got moves and a sweet J. Meanwhile, Cole Huff can knock down shots as well, and the long arms of the law right here. Justin Patton, 5-point ball game. Back to Omaha right after this. Much time for the Progressive game summary.
Well, you see Gooden, Jones, Blewett, other guys stepping up, especially Jones and Goodwin. 14 points in the paint, only 2 turnovers. Foster, 7 points. Bench points, huge for Creighton right now.
All right, welcome back to Omaha, folks, and it's time for the
Come on,
Jackson
man.
report.
Come on.
How are you going to enlighten us today?
Once you sound more enthused.
Oh.
I mean, being that it's Super Bowl weekend, of course, I had to bring something up. Embrace and appreciate greatness. A lot of times we look at it because a guy like Tom Brady is so successful that we take it for granted, and people want to knock it, like they win too much. How do you win too much? I don't understand that when people say you win too much. Forget that. He had the chance to pass my man Terry Bradshaw. I'm a Steeler fan. Joe Montana as the winningest Super Bowl quarterback, okay, by getting 5. He's going to 7. You know what I mean? So embrace it. Appreciate greatness. Don't hate on it. Okay. It's kind of like Ohio State, Michigan. You know what I mean? Embrace the fact that we just dominate Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate.
That's terrible. That's terrible. And here are the guys you'll see, the stars in the Super Bowl tomorrow. Matty Ice. What's he going to do? Is Julio Jones healthy? Is that toe okay? We will see in Houston on Fox. Blewett. In his last 2 jump shots from mid-range now, he takes a long 3. Coach Greg McDermott not happy with that call. Looks like a foul coming up against the Jays.
You know, the elevation of Trayvon Blewett, the beauty I like is that the mix and match. The ability for him 15 to 18 feet to get a shot, but also to step out. He's not overly athletic, but he does a great job of getting his shot up by creating space.
Malcolm Bernard goes to the line. The foul called on Zierden, who picked up his 2nd. And Bernard misses the free throw. Mintz tried to haul it in, and another foul coming up. This time against Xavier.
Gus, in a game like this, and I talked about it, 7 out of 8 games have been decided by 8 points or less. Missing free throws. It's been a couple of times Kaiser Gates has gone to the basket, missed layups. When you're on the road, these are the little plays that you need. You look back, you lose by 1 or 2 points, you say, well, dang, if we did this a little bit better. You got opportunities. You got to take advantage of it when you can when you're on the road.
Davion Mintz at the line. When he was in high school with Coach McDermott in the stands watching, he scored 43 points and hit 10 threes in a high school playoff game. One game after, he had scored 41 in a regular season finale. I guess you give that kid a scholarship.
I guess you do. And if you're that kind of guy, that in-between prospect, why wouldn't you want to come here and play for Coach McDermott, knowing that you can play in a wide-open style, you're going to get a chance to shoot, capacity crowd, and you're going to win.
And you get to eat Omaha steaks.
All day.
All time. How good Xavier kind of going to sleep offensively now. The Creighton defense has been superb over the last few minutes. Good hesitation, the runner. Snatched down by Patton. They'll kick it out. Mintz on the run. Huff looking for that jump shot at all times. Kyrie Thomas deep.
And there it is. Yes. The playmaking ability. How many 7-footers do you see like that? Able to take it from outside of the free throw line, dribble, and then make the right decision. That's what makes this young man special.
Creighton 8 of 14 from the three-point line. Blewett trying to keep him together here. Blocked by Patton again. Crossover dribble good.
Yes, sir.
Blocked by Patton again. Here comes a fast break. Thomas, left hand down the lane, running right hand. Kick the road good. Timeout, Xavier. That's why the scouts are here, folks. Watch this kid, Justin Patton, with the wingspan of a condor. The block starts the fast break. Kyrie Thomas, hard penetration, gets to the hole. Blue Jays rolling. And welcome back to Big East College Hoops on Fox, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Creighton extending their lead now. They're getting the fast break going based on their defense, 41-30 right now, and it's time for the Lexus playbook.
One thing Patton can do is block shots, but his ability to creep out and also seek out when the time is to help. He doesn't stay married on the weak side. He comes over, attacks, but more importantly, Gus, he blocks the shot and keeps the ball in play. He doesn't try to knock it out of bounds. Now that ignites the fast break, and Kyrie Thomas able to take it coast to coast, but the anticipation by Justin Patton twice in a row to negate what could have been two easy baskets for Xavier.
And Justin Patton from Omaha, lives about 30 minutes from this building. He says his mom likes to cook spaghetti for the whole team.
Oh, spaghetti sounds good right about now.
Certainly does. We'll get it later. Kaiser Gates. Rebounded by Bernard. New shot clock for the Musketeers. Jones wants it. He's had his way with Patton in the first half. Pump fake, jump hook, pure. Tyreek Jones balling today. Xavier can't hold on, and the Musketeers will get it again.
And what does it say about Tyreek Jones? Jones, who didn't play a lot of early spot minutes, but got thrust into the starting lineup a few games ago, and he's responded. So that means that this young man stayed engaged throughout the course of the season. So when his time came, he was prepared and ready to step up.
Jones with 10 points, 5 of 5 from the field. Let's see if they keep going to it.
Why not?
Keep the big fella's hands full. Bernard, the floater, got it. Here comes Xavier.
Xavier back to what they were doing well early, Gus, getting the ball in the paint and scoring.
1 minute to play, first half. Mintz almost lost it. Hits the deck, tied up. Arrow in the favor of the Blue Jays. With 54.9 to go. Now Clement will come back in. Mintz heads to the bench.
Smart substitution. You want to finish out the half with momentum if you're Creighton. Coach McDermott feels a little bit more comfortable with Clement coming in and finishing out the half. 13
on the shot clock. Thomas has been aggressive in this first half. Xavier, deep three. Seven-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
Look for Trayvon Blewett to be involved in this. Weak side.
Gates. 8 to shoot. Here's Blewett now. He's got to hurry up. 5 to shoot. Blewett on the baseline. Double team. 1 to shoot, and they won't get a shot off.
By that time he went into crowded space, and Patton was right there waiting for him on the double team. You got to kind of see that a little bit earlier, Gus.
And Creighton calls a timeout with 7.6 to go. And we'll stay right here.
And again, those are the little opportunities. When you have a one-on-one opportunity, you got to kind of see through your defensive man on the back line of the defense to identify where the open spots are on the court.
And let's take a look at the AP top 10. Gonzaga, the #1 team in the nation, undefeated at 23-0, followed by Baylor and Kansas. Nova at 4. Some people feel that Arizona is the team that can win the national championship.
I mean, that team right there, and again, The Zags deserve to be #1 through attrition. That doesn't mean they're the best team, but their record is unblemished, so they're there. Again, it's a lot of parity in regards to the top 4 or 5 teams. No one's really dominant, you know, but they're really good. So I'm sure leading at the second half of the season, that AP poll is going to continue to juggle a little bit.
At Kansas and Kentucky. I'll tell you what, it's so fun to watch those teams play this season. That kid Monk for Kentucky.
Oh, unbelievable, man. I mean, the game he got on him, the bounce that he has, putting up tremendous numbers. But that's playing with Coach Cal, too. I mean, he plays a little pro-style offense at times, a lot of pick and roll. And when you have that talent like that, it just explodes out. I should have played for Cal when I was in college.
You should have. You did okay, though. 4th overall pick of the draft. 7.6 to go. Here's Kyrie Thomas weaving his way to the front court. 20-foot jumper. Short, hop there. Follow, and he gets it to fall. And that's the end of the first half. Creighton 8 of 15 from the three-point line. Six different Jays have hit at least 1 3, but right now they go to the basket.
Able to get inside. You finish out the half. Xavier paying attention to the ball and not blocking out a man in Cole Huff. Able to sneak in, get it easy too, take momentum into the half.
All right, let's go to Shannon with Coach McDermott.
Well, Gus, I was going to ask you about how Kyrie Thomas was doing on Blewett, but talk about that last play. What'd you see there?
Well, it was a great play. Kyrie got us a good shot, and Cole didn't give up on the play and got to the basket and got the tip in. So that's a big momentum boost for us going into halftime.
Yeah, Xavier's been going through some offensive scoring drought. So what part of your defense do you give the most credit for that?
Well, Kyrie's done a good job making Blewett looks tough. He's still a great player, and he's going to make some. We got to clean up what's going on inside. We got to do a little more even on the backboards, but they're still getting too many offensive boards, and we have to clean that up the second half.
Thanks so much, Coach. Gus?
All right, balanced scoring for Creighton. 9 Jays scoring in the first half. 43-34. Creighton on top of Xavier. At the break, we'll send you to Kevin Burkhardt, Steve Lavin, and Donnie Marshall in L.A. for the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report right after this. Welcome back to Omaha, Nebraska. Our score, Creighton, with a 43-34 lead as we head into the second half. Gus Johnson along with Jimmy Jackson. I thought for Creighton in the first half, they played with great tempo and their stars stepped up.
Big time for Creighton. What they were able to do, started off a little bit slow defensively, picked it up, but then got out in transition, knocked down some three-point shots. For Xavier, too, some contributions from guys other named than J.P. McCura and also Trayvon Blewett. But how about Tyreek Jones? He's making up. He didn't really play well against Seton Hall on Wednesday, but what he lacks in size, he makes up in grown man strength and excellent footwork, able to maneuver his way inside and make plays. And how about Kyrie Thomas? The second in the team in rebounding, assists, and steals, but he has shown the ability to offensively be able to knock down shots. 8 points in the first half. Leading the way, or help leading the way for Creighton.
And that brings us to our Jeep Grand Cherokee first half stats. Creighton 8 of 16 from the three-point line. That's the big stat. Different story for Xavier at 2 for 10. Let's go to Shannon.
Hey there, Gus. Well, priorities for the second half for Xavier. Coach Mack told me the fouls. He said that's been a big issue for them, and he wants the guys to finish around the basket. But you guys just mentioned Trayvon Blewett. I watched him walk out of that locker room, and he is limping significantly. He missed last night's practice. He's switched to high-top sneakers for this game. Also has some extra tape on that ankle. That ankle injury, of course, happened at Seton Hall, but he is fighting through it.
All right, thank you very much, Shannon. Blewett hitting the game-winning shot against Seton Hall in Cincinnati this week. So Xavier with the basketball to start the second half. Good. McCura picked up 3 fouls. And McCura, that's a great sign. It's his first shot of the second half.
You like to see that for JP because he stepped right into it, Gus. Didn't hesitate, able to knock it in. Let's see if that gets him, along with these teammates, going at the beginning of this second half.
43-37. McCura with 5 points. Baseline Huff. You can't give him that much space. Snatched down by Makura. As we said, he's a very good rebounding guard. Bernard deep. Mintz the other way with Patton. Finds Patton in transition, taken away by Gooden. Here comes Gooden, pushes it ahead. Makura stops, fires another three. They're going up and down to start the second half. Mintz. So Foster, Huff, straightaway jump shot, and hits. Cole Huff with 11 points. Nine-point lead for the Blue Jays. Makura now drives to the basket, kicks Jones. Goes inside, no call, and he'll knock it down again. Tyreek Jones with a career high, 12 points.
And I like the no call that time by the officials.
Here's a jump shot for Patton.
Patton can shoot it, though. Don't be those that haven't been able to see this young man play. That's a shot that he's able to knock down.
Now Jones, great position again, and an easy layup. Patton getting lost on defense now.
He got lost, but that time Cole Huff rotated open. But guess what? Tyreek Jones put that 15, 20-inch python right
he's got some
Cole
guns.
Huff and put him to the ground.
No doubt about it. We were wondering who would replace Jalen Reynolds. Tyreek Jones doing a nice job in his freshman season. Down the lane, Foster lost it, gets it back, and knocks it down deep in the paint.
Yeah, Foster able to stay with it. I like the fact that Foster, too, is not just relying on his jump shot, Gus. He's attacking the basket, getting inside.
Foster transferring from Kansas State, sat out last year. He's from Wichita Falls, Texas. Now Bernard. 13 to shoot for Gooden. He'll drive to the left. Cut off. Step back jump shot. Makura foul behind the three-point line.
That time I think Cole Huff was a little bit behind in regards to his rotation right there. Bumped into his own man. And Tyreek Jones right there. That's his grown man shrimp, Gus. Just Cole Huff. Get out of the way.
So Makura makes the first, and what's the book on JP?
Well, constant motor. You see he can get up and down, high energy. They can shoot this basketball out of the gym when he gets off the bus. It's about control with him, too, in regards to how he plays. He's so emotional. He can shoot you in the game. He can also shoot you out of the game. And it's how you temper that emotion that will help his team.
And he makes 2 out of 3 from the line. So 9 points for J.P. Makura. Make that 7 points for J.P. Makura. Cross court, Foster. And a foul coming up. This will go against Blue. It looks like a push in the back of Huff, who had better position. And that's his second.
Well, the intention that Patton coming across on the screen down low attracted the Xavier defense. That opened up that cross-court pass to Foster, who missed the shot, but because of the rotation, Creighton able to keep the possession alive.
Foster. And Gaston with the rebound. Gaston, good. Makura. Bernard. Here's good to the basket. Hands it off. Great job by the freshman.
I love the patience, but it was the quick push into a pick and roll that allowed Gooden to get inside the lane.
He's great going to his left hand, and he's a right-handed player. Patton stolen away by Gaston again.
Gaston making an impact immediately.
5 turnovers for Creighton. (48-45). Creighton is led by as many as 11. Bernard finds Blewett, posting up Thomas, making him work. Draws a double, drives baseline, gets to the bucket, but stepped on the baseline out of bounds. 4th turnover for the Musketeers.
Well, that time Patton came over on the double team, but he came on the high side. The problem with that is that Trayvon Blue was able to get to the baseline. Just unfortunately, he ran out of real estate and stepped out of bounds.
Clement back in now for Creighton. Running the point right. now against Makura. Thomas. Baseline Xavier. Inside and another steal by Xavier as Gaston gets a hand on the ball. Good going left. Running jumper. Short. Block. Loose ball. Picked up. Gaston banks it down. And the X-Men are right back in it. Down by a point.
Creighton not as focused coming out of half. Turning the basketball over, allowing Xavier to creep within one.
Xavier has a great jump shot. Baseline, Clement, lefty, got it.
That was excellent offense that time. Patient, get the ball, free throw line, collapse the defense, then make the cross-court pass.
Clement has hit 2 threes. He has 6 points. 51-47. Blew it, backed his way down. The kick, good again. This freshman is playing some ball. 11 points. Campbellsville, Kentucky. He was a prolific scorer in high school. Now being asked to run a team in his first year with the injury to Edmund Sumner. Lob baseline, Patton knocked away Gaston, but Patton gets it back. No doubt about it.
Well, soft hands allowed him, Patton, to keep the ball alive, and a much-needed basket that time by the Blue Jays.
Patton with 5. 3-point lead. Blew it. Pick and roll, knocked away by Patton. Kyrie Thomas hustles it down and jams it down. Great hands by Justin Patton. And they rise to their feet here in Omaha. Over 18,000. And now Blewett. Looks like he may. Trayvon Blewett got teed up. Trayvon Blewett teed up by Michael Stevens. You don't do this with Michael Stevens.
Well, if you're going to talk to him, you better watch what you say. I know Michael Stevens is a veteran official, and Trayvon Blewett is probably more frustrated at his play right now, but Xavier making a little comeback here early in the second half.
Hey, Jimmy, it's your favorite time, the mock selection.
All right, here we go, Jimmy. Between these 3 teams, who would you select to go to the NCAA tournament?
Let's see, because Steve Shear wants to always get me. 16-6 looks really good, RPI, but only 1-5 again. 1-5 against the top 50. So I'm going to pick this team right here. And I'm doing that just because.
So Georgia Tech, 5-6 against the top 50?
Yeah, I did that just for Steve.
Our producer, Steve Shear, is always
Steve
trying
Shear. That's why. I don't even know who. And Kansas State is up 18 on Baylor right now.
Okay.
52, 63, 15-7. Got a chance right here to get that to 3-5. Inch up there a little bit.
Georgia Tech, Cal. Now Zierden will shoot the technical foul.
And I think that was more of a frustration foul, like we said before the timeout, by Trayvon Blewett. Maybe not getting some of the calls, but also not in offensive flow yet.
Zierden gets them both. 7-point lead now for Creighton. Xavier had pulled to within 1. Then consecutive turnovers led to Creighton baskets in the technical. 6-0 run for the Blue Jays. Gaston, a 14-foot jump shot. Not his area. Kyrie Thomas will bring it the other way.
And about the switching defense out of the timeout right into a 2-3 zone for Creighton.
Clement. Nice bounce pass. Hanson and
the trust factor. Clement is not going to beat you. He's not going to overwhelm you, but he's going to make the little plays. That time, the dribble penetration inside the lane, allowing Hansen to clear enough space, dropping a dime right around Gaston inside. Great catch also and finish.
And Hansen misses a free throw. 9-point lead. Xavier looking for answers now. Across the lane, Bernard. Nice layup. Malcolm Bernard with 4 points. Clement, baseline, Zier feeds the post to Hansen. Bumping and grinding, jump hook on the baseline, too strong. Akira, weak side rebound. He'll rig it and take it. Blew it. That ankle, tender. Good. Akira again, double clutch off the glass. That's a box syrup for you right there.
It is, and when JP attacks off the dribble, it's harder to have to guard him because now you have to honor his ability to shoot, but then you have to honor the fact that he can put it on the deck and attack.
9 points for JP Makura. Thomas, baseline, Huff, rise and fire. Short. Batted around, batted out by Thomas. New shot clock for the Blue Jays.
It just seems like Thomas is always around the ball doing all the little things necessary for his team.
Mid-range Jay Huff. Short again. Another rebound for JP. His fourth. Blew it. Bernard again slashing across the lane, off the glass, short. Clement. Inside Hansen and he's fouled. 11:21 to play. Second half, Xavier, Creighton in a Big East war.
Jumping off a cliff is more of kind of an intense experience.
Big East College Hoops on Fox is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Creighton and Xavier from Omaha, Nebraska, CenturyLink Center. And our score is 59-54, Blue Jays. Autism affects 1 in 68 children in the U.S. It's one of the fastest growing serious developmental disorders. That's why the college basketball community is teaming up with Autism Speaks to raise funds and awareness this weekend. You can too participate in Coaches Powering Forward for Autism. Visit autismspeaks.org/speaks. Let's go inside the huddle with Xavier coach Chris Mack.
Defensively, we're switching ball screens, all right? We got to do a better job now of keeping our box coverage. We got to do a better job. So when the 5 goes, right, you got to be loud, you got to call it early. If he's 7 cuts, man, we got to have box coverage. If I'm guarding the guy here, like I'm tight.
What's box coverage, Jimmy?
That's keeping the ball within and maintaining presence in the lane. But more importantly, Gus, it's communication. When you switch, communicate, talk early, talk often. That's how you can make up some errors sometimes defensively.
All right, let's go to Shannon.
Well, Coach McDermott in that huddle, he wants his guys to push the pace. That is what he's looking for right now. You know, so many questions, though, what stood out to me. Maurice Watson out of this game. Who would be the vocal leader? Well, that guy is Kyrie Thomas. I saw him. He was talking to those guys, very active in that huddle.
All right, thank you very much, Shannon. 11:17 to play, second half, 59-54. Pat. Backs up now. Back out to Thomas. Cross court. Hector. Hector's hit a couple of threes in this game, and that gives Creighton a 62-54 lead.
The threat of the lob to Patton sucks into defense, and it opens up that cross-court pass.
Good. He forced it up off the glass. No, batted around. safe from going out of bounds? No.
Yes, because Patton has 54 dunks. His ability, once the pick and roll comes off and he rolls to the basket, now the defense is going to suck in. And when it sucks in, that cross-court pass, an excellent touch pass to the corner to Hegner, is wide open. And that's the respect that you get when Patton dives hard to the lane.
You know, when those Creighton Blue Jays are open, they knock down shots. Reminds you of Ethan Raggi. What a great shooter. Foster. Akira in transition. They pick him up. Blew it. Down the lane. Off the glass. How simple can it get for Trayvon Blewett, who has 10?
And Blewett not the quickest, most athletic, but his ability to put it on the deck and then get his shoulder and foot by his defender to get into the lane.
Hegner again. Akira. Gates draws a double team. Somebody's open. Akira, dribble drive to the hole. Kicks it out. Gates. And it's Kaiser Gates. Xavier not going away. 9-3 run for the X-Men.
And Coach Chris Mack imploring his guys. It's on the defensive end. If we want to win this game, we got to get stops.
Foster. Fade away. Marcus Foster with 11. Gooden, top of the key. Rebounded by Gates. He's got Hegner on his back, takes him across the lane, and rejected again by Patton. That does remind you of Marcus Camby right there, I'll tell you what.
Well, I'm trying to tell you, that time, but just a little slow movement by Kaiser Gates allows Patton to come over. You just got to be aware that he's creeping around the lane somewhere. Patton is.
Tyreek Jones has had a career day. Jones 7 of 7, 14 points. Blewett. Guarded by Thomas, really making him work on a bad ankle. Good, again going to his left. Rejected by Patton. Numbers. Thomas. Whack. Justin Patton dominating the game on the defensive end. 66-59. 7:50 to play. 5 block shots for Patton. The scouts are here. Makura deep in the corner and ripped it. J.P. Makura with 12 points. He had 2 at halftime. But watch Patton. Get out of here. Kyrie Thomas pays it off. Welcome back to Big East College Hoops on Fox, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Omaha, Nebraska, the place to be today. We've got a good one brewing. 66-62. 22nd ranked Creighton on top of Xavier. Let's look at the players to watch. Sponsored by PNC Bank for the Achiever in You.
Well, how about the 2 freshmen, so to speak? Justin Patton, of course, redshirt freshman, but stepping up big time. Tyreek Jones in the unlikely role of scorer, 14.7 7 for 7. And of course, the block shot, the season high for Justin Patton.
And let's take a look at the updated Big East standings. Villanova 8-2 on the season. Creighton and Xavier playing right now. Marquette beat DePaul today. Seton Hall with their first road conference win over Georgetown. So it's starting to look kind of jumbled up. How about St. John's 5-6?
I was going to say that. Yeah, how about St. John's? I mean, when you have Samori Pons and the vet in the backcourt, Bashir Ahmed. I think there's that third guy that can really make that team go.
Big guys playing well in the conference. How about Angel Delgado for Seton Hall, 26 points, 17 rebounds. (66-62). Egner, Thomas, Clement, Foster, Patton. Inside, Patton couldn't hold on. Nicely defended by Xavier. 7 turnovers for Creighton.
Yeah, that's a tough entry pass that time by Kyrie.
Gates. And an injured player. Oh, my goodness. That's Makura. And this Xavier team could not afford to lose another man.
Well, it looks like Patton, the knee may have hit Makura right in the shin, right there. Oh, no, it's the ankle and trying to run it off there, but keep your eye right there.
So Makura being looked at on the court. Back after this. Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Wendy's Ranch Chicken Club and by Edward Jones, where attention and sound advice is a big deal. 66-62, Creighton leading Xavier. J.P. Makura injured on the last play.
And guys, it's really kind of hard to see exactly what the injury is. You know, the collision, the lower leg of Patton, and also Makura tried to walk it off, and he just, it truly is a battle of attrition, you know, with sports on which teams near the end of the year can be the healthiest, you know.
Makura being looked at on the Xavier bench, 12 points today, had 2 at the break.
And he was a catalyst in the second half, especially right at the beginning, knocking down that big 3 to kind of get Xavier's momentum back in the second half.
Makura, one of his final schools, Creighton. Inside, Patton can't hold on. Another great deflection by the Musketeers.
If you're going to float that pass, you got to put it up a little bit higher. Patton can go get it. That time, Clement just left it a little, didn't put enough air underneath it, able to get a deflection.
Good bounce pass to the baseline. Jones, he's been great down here.
Oh, great wall up by Patton.
Bernard, 5 to shoot. Gooden, pure.
And how about Gooden?
I love this kid.
I mean, 16 shots. He's leading Xavier in regards to field goal attempts. Is that a good thing? Well, right now, he's kind of the one that's able to knock in some shots.
14 points. The lead cut to 1. Thomas, guarded by Gates. Patton swings it to Foster. Foster, hard dribble to the basket. Rejected by Tyreek Jones.
You're a little mad on that, Gus.
Creighton keeps it. Foster, step back. Dirk Nowitzki jump shot off one leg.
Hey, listen, be in the right place at the right time. That time, awareness on the court where he was at. Foster able to knock it in on the baseline.
68-65. Creighton beat Xavier in their first meeting this season in Cincinnati, their only home loss. Inside, nice position and another easy jam for Jones from guess who?
Quentin Gooden. I mean, just you talked about the maturity, Gus, and how he plays, and now he's making the simple plays look, I mean, some difficult plays look easy.
He's got 4 assists to go along with 14 points. Patton on the box, finds a cutting Egner, and he's fouled.
The more and more comfortable Gooden gets, the better he's playing, the feel for the game, and the outstretched arm that time. Tyreek Jones inside. And early on, when Gooden assumed the role of starting point guard, kind of struggled with his offense. You kind of knew that. But now he's getting into a rhythm, more confidence, as you see the results right now.
Tyreek Jones with a career day, 16 points. Hegner. Hansen, Gaston both come in. Jones will take a blow, as well as Patton.
I think one thing we don't talk about, too, is conditioning. Gooden and also Tyreek Jones playing more minutes. So you see the substitutions to get them in and out to make sure they're fresh.
69-67. Xavier hanging around on the road. They've gotten great contributions from both of their freshmen. Quentin Gooden, the man with the ball now, and Tyreek Jones, who's on the bench. On a day in which their best player, Trayvon Blewett, has a tender ankle. Gates driving now. Gates off the glass. That's what you want from Kaiser Gates. And he can do it. Gates with 7. And we're level at 69. Hansen. And foul. Kaiser Gates, you know that he can shoot it.
When he does this, and his father Dave is a good friend of mine, texted me, said, leave my son alone about missing layups. Well, when he makes layups like this, I'm going to give him credit because he put his head down, one dribble right to the basket. That's the next step of this young man's game.
Now Makura coming back in. He's okay. He's got a hitch in his gait. But he's a tough kid. That's right, from Minnesota. He doesn't have a hitch in his wrist.
No, not at all. I guarantee the first chance he gets that he's open,
he's going to jack it.
He's going to let it fly. Give me or die.
Last time Xavier led this game, the score was 22-20. 4:13 to go. Anybody's ball game. Gooden down the lane, rejected by Hansen. Here comes Foster in transition to the basket, double clutch, not a good shot and a foul.
How about Zach Hansen? Imitation is a form of flattery.
Game begins to get the conversation started with America's fastest growing sports show. Join Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp for the undisputed Super Bowl special tomorrow at noon Eastern on Fox. So let's reset this game for you. Close game, 69 up. Xavier and Creighton. X-Men with 2 timeouts, Creighton with 3 timeouts. As we look at the foul trouble, Blewett has 4. And let's go inside the huddle with Chris Mack.
I love the way you guys battle. Last time we were in this position, we were at home. It was the same exact situation. We can't give them any second shots. I'm going to tell you right now, if we switch a ball screen, that shot goes up, Patton better not get inside you and get a tip in. We got to block out. We got to squeeze rebounds.
Into the game, finishing out the game. You're right there with a great opportunity. Last time we were here, but we didn't do the little things in order for us to win. Rebounding the basketball, keeping Patton out is the key.
Their last meeting, Creighton winning it 72-67 on January 16th. Now Foster at the line. He has 13 points today.
Guys coming down the stretch of the game. Xavier 7 fouls. We're talking about foul trouble. Creighton 1. Creighton a 68% free throw shooting team. Be aggressive. Get yourself to the line.
Creighton 4 of 9 from the free throw line in the second half. 1-point lead. Gooden. There's a zone now by the Blue Jays. Blewett takes a 3 and hits. Trayvon Blewett, big-time jumper, his 13th point, and the Musketeers take a 2-point lead with 3:22 to go. Let's see if Creighton flinches. Skip pass, Huff, rise and fire, short.
That time Huff didn't have his balance. No elevation on the jump shot.
Xavier has had a tough time winning on the road. They're 2-5 this season. Macura to Blewett again. And again, he knocked it down. Trayvon Blewett with an ankle that's almost fallen off. He's got 16. Foster, step back, 20-foot. Air ball, Huff with the rebound. The kick, Thomas answers. Kyrie Thomas with 15. But Trayvon Blewett willing his team. Back-to-back threes for the man from Indianapolis, Indiana. 2:30 to play. 75-73. Can the X-Men hold on? Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Positive Coaching Alliance and its mission to develop better athletes, better people by working to provide all youth and high school athletes a positive character-building sports experience. Visit foxsportssupports.com to learn more. 2:30 to go. Second half, 2-point game. Xavier with the lead. As we reset it for you, each team with 2 timeouts. Only one team foul against Creighton.
I tell you what, guys, that last play, you're talking about flawless execution by Xavier to get Trayvon Blewett another clean look at the basket. That's how you win games on the road down the stretch.
Here's Gooden. He's had an excellent day. Blewett back-to-back jump shots. Going down. He'll feed Gaston. Weak side, Gooden is open. Cross court, Macura lets it go deep. Boom! J.P. Macura. 15 points. And Xavier takes a 78-73 lead.
Again, offense flowing for Xavier, making the right decisions, running the place to perfection.
Patton drives baseline. Clement shows it, drives, up off the glass and in. Tyler Clement makes it a 78-75 game, 1:33 to go, timeout, Xavier.
J.P. Macura went out, little leg injury, the wrist, the arm, looks okay to me. And Clement, savvy, veteran, layup. Xavier 78, Creighton 75.
J.P. Macura, who went out, we were talking to him last week, or this week rather, when we were in Cincinnati about Bobby Sura. And I said, J.P., have you ever seen Bobby Sura play ball? He was like, no, who's that? First of all, that's hilarious.
Well, he is
Dog
young.
of a player, Bobby Sura. Sam Cassell in the backcourt, Florida State.
I played with Bobby
You
in
did?
Cleveland.
Tell me about Bobby Sura. Tell JP about Bobby Sura.
Serene, athletic as all get out, Bobby Sura was. He didn't shoot it as well as JP. Later on in his career he did, but a lot of similarities as far as the fire and the fight. I think Bobby was a little thicker, but a very good comparison in regards to how you play. But Macura right now making some excellent decisions. What I love about him in the second half, Gus, he hasn't forced the opportunity. Even that drive when he set up Trayvon Blewett to come off and wheel, he knew exactly where he wanted to get to, sucked the defense down and then made the play. That's when he's at his best. That's when he's an asset to the Xavier team.
JP told me today, he said, I went online last night and I looked up Bobby Sura. I saw his highlights and he said, wow, I'd love to be able to play ball like that.
Well, yeah, not only that, also have a long and successful and nice little paycheck for a long time.
1:32 to go, second half. Xavier with the lead and the ball. Last 3 possessions, Blewett hit a 3. He came back, hit another 3, and then Macura hit a 3. Their stars taking over down the stretch. Here's Blewett. Inside Gaston, guarded by Patton. Backs him up. Takes his time, gets inside, and draws a foul.
Actually, not a bad foul. Gas and a 50% free throw shooter.
First time at the line today. Rashid Gaston, the senior. (79-75). Foster quickly into the front court. 1:12 to go. Hegner hands it off. Clement rolling. Hegner looking. Clement. 17 to shoot. Thomas. Xavier digging in on D. Patton crossed over. Pull up J. Air ball. Hegner hits the deck. Picked up by Blewett and a foul.
And how about the defense that time, Makura? Forcing Patton to have to shoot a jump shot out on the wing. And we see the foul inside. Hegner. That Trayvon Blewett gets underneath.
So subs coming in for Creighton. Ronnie Harrell Jr., number 4, guards the ball. And a steal by Kyrie Thomas. The kick, Foster for 3. Bam! 79-78. Makura having a hard time with the handle. And Xavier will hold on.
Trayvon Blewett kind of floats the pass out. Kyrie Thomas once again involved in the play to get Foster that trailing 3. You have to be secure and assertive when you're making your passes down the stretch of the game.
One more look.
Well, that's a soft pass. Kyrie Thomas able to get it, and smartly Marcus Foster walks right into an open three-point shot and almost had another steal on the sideline. Now keep in mind, tough position to get the ball inbounds in front of Creighton's bench.
Here's the one that almost happened.
Again, it's a soft pass that allows Harris Jr. to get his hands in there. You got to put some snap on that pass, but also Makura has to create more space to get open to receive the pass. You can't move right now on the sideline, Gus, if you're Xavier taking the ball out of bounds.
And Makura a little gimpy after going down hard here in the second half.
Now I think this is down the stretch of the game, Gus. You think about the veteran point guard and Watson not being in there. Another ball handler with Sumner.
So Makura will serve as the inbounder. Blewett, Good, Gates, Gaston. They're on their feet here in Omaha.
In this position, Gus, forces you to sometimes catch the ball in the deep corner for Xavier. You don't want that. It's easy to trap.
They give it to Makura. He finds Blewett and throws it away. As you said, partner, you don't want the ball in the corner.
The angle is a tough angle. And if you can't get the exact, precise pass, when you get down here, you don't have a lot of room to work with. Guess what? You float it out there, you turn the basketball over. It's just, I mean, the decision-making down the stretch has been absent with Xavier taking the ball out of bounds.
So now Creighton with the basketball. And listen to this crowd. Xavier led this game 79-75 and had the ball. Back-to-back turnovers, though. With 45.9 to go, a one-point game. Kyrie Thomas, Hegner, Foster, Clement, Patton. Foster. Clement. Hegner shows it. V's the post. Patton. Kicks it. 16 to shoot. Foster. He's been great off the dribble. Step back jumper for the lead. Off the front rim, no. Loose ball. And a foul coming up. Gates snatched it down with 24.3 to go.
Creighton still with fouls to give because they're not in the penalty. Forces Xavier to take the ball once again out of bounds. Trayvon blew it because it's a dead ball rebound. You can't foul. You can't move. Well, now it's Gooden. Maybe a better decision maker taking the ball up, but it takes away a ball handler.
Here's Gooden. Looking to Gates. And Gates fouled. So Kaiser Gates managed to finally secure the ball after 2 consecutive turnovers on inbounds plays. 5 team fouls against Creighton.
Once again, Xavier kind of stuck on the side, on the baseline to take it out.
Makura, stolen. Clement, Harold Jr. off the glass. No, but a foul.
I hate to beat a dead horse, but I'm going to beat it anyway. You're just floating, anticipating passes. You're trying to anticipate where Makura is going, but that time Makura's kind of stopped and wanted to put Clement on his back.
So Ronnie Harold Jr., a 63% free throw shooter at the line, shooting 1 and 1. And he missed it. Gates.
How important are free throws down the stretch of a game? They're not playing the whole game, but has a chance at the free throw line.
And Xavier thought that they were in the bonus.
No.
And they're not.
No.
That was the 6th team foul. Inbounding the ball has been an odyssey over the last few possessions for the Musketeers. This time it'll be Blewett. And a foul before the ball was thrown in bounds. And it's on Clement. Now Xavier shoots 1 and 1. 20.4 to go.
Yeah, you don't want to have that foul right there. You want to force the ball to come in and see if you can get a steal. That time Clement just a little too active with his hands. The little hold.
So Gooden at the line. 0 for 1 today. Big free throws here. Xavier with a 1-point lead. (80-78). Xavier up by 2. And he missed the second. Foster, 18 seconds ago, kicks it out. Kyrie Thomas drives baseline, gets to the bucket off the glass. Oh, he missed the bunny. And Kaiser Gates is fouled with 11.1 remaining.
You know, the advance pass up the court, and quite honestly, I don't think Kyrie Thomas thought that he would be this open once he got by Kaiser Gates. It was such an easy shot to make and probably took his eyes off the rim. Oh, what a break for Xavier. Bad break for Creighton.
And that's the reaction from the Xavier bench. Different story for the Creighton bench. So with 11.1 remaining, 2-point ball game, Xavier heading to the line. Gates, the free throw shooter, and he's a 71% free throw shooter on the season.
Well, as we've seen down the stretch of the game, guys, nothing is guaranteed, and Kaiser splits these or, you know, gets one. It's still an opportunity for Creighton.
So let's take a look at the next 5 games for the Musketeers. DePaul on Wednesday, followed by tough ones, Villanova, and then at Providence, at Marquette, Seton Hall. Creighton's next 5 at DePaul, at Seton Hall, followed by Georgetown, PC, and the national champions.
Well, that's why for Creighton it's so important that you take care of your home court, knowing that you're going to be on the road. And what a big win this would be for Xavier. Kind of redemption a little bit, winning the game the way they lost it down the stretch at home. And Xavier trying to avenge their only loss at home was to these Blue Jays.
Xavier trying to make it 3 in a row. Gates, a 71% free throw shooter. Gets the first. He's 3 for 3 from the line today. And he makes them both. And the Musketeers call a timeout with an 82-78 lead.
And that timeout that time by Coach Mack. Settle his players down, get them on the same pace defensively. You didn't want to play D without fouling. Keep the ball in front of you. They get a 3. Let them get a clean look. Don't bail them out by fouling them and with a possible 4-point play. The question is for Creighton, do you go for a quick 2? Knowing that that Xavier had problems getting the ball inbounds. You know they're not going to want to foul, so you get it up quick within 5-second score. Hopefully your defense can make a play, get a turnover. If not, you put them to the free throw line, being Xavier once again.
82-78. These teams have fought hard. As you look at what the Musketeers have achieved, they beat St. John's, they beat Seton Hall, and now to win on the road against the 22nd ranked team in the nation would be a huge feather in their cap. So Hegner will inbound the ball with Thomas, Clement, Patton, and Foster. Here's Foster. Takes a 3. Short. Batted in, though, by Patton with 4 seconds to go. And we've got a 2-point game.
Quick up the court by Foster. Patton setting the screen, able to dive and get those long arms involved to tap it in.
And remember what Chris Mack said, we can't give Patton a tip in.
That's right.
You got to box out. They did not do it on that trip. So with 4 seconds to go, can Xavier inbound the ball is the question.
Well, yeah, of course, that's the question. And just have to be smart in regards to, one, if I'm a player, I got to figure out a way to get my body. I got to get open and present a passing angle So whoever's taking it out of bounds has a clear view of me, my number, so they can get me the basketball. It's as important for the person getting open as it is for the person who's taking the ball out of bounds.
So Blewett will inbound it. They want to keep it out of Gates and Makira's hands. And here's Gooden, and he will go to the line with 3.6 remaining. Gooden is 1 of 3 from the free throw line today. The freshman who's had to step up because of the loss of the dynamic Edmund Sumner. And he has stepped up. Xavier has won 2 in a row. Gooden, 8 points, 7 assists earlier this week against Seton Hall. He's mature beyond his years. And that's the 5th foul on Clement. He leaves with 8 points and 4 assists. Zierden back in. 82-80. Gooden, 1 for 3 from the line, shooting 1 and 1. And he missed it. Zierden kicks it out. Oh, and they throw it out of bounds. Heckner.
Opportunities squandered down the stretch. The missed layup by Thomas. 2 for Anthony down the stretch from the free throw line, and that pass.
Heckner would love to have that one back. Blewett, the inbounder to Makura, knocked away, out of bounds, and that's the game. How about this? The Xavier Musketeers come into Omaha and will lead, winning a big one. 82-80. Xavier makes it 3 in a row as they knock off the 22nd ranked team in America. For Jim Jackson and Shannon Spake, this is Gus Johnson saying so long from Omaha. You've been watching